so many of our patients have commented about how different stories have led them to ultimately deciding to be part of our chiropractic family. And in fact, many of you out there, as you're maybe new to chiropractic, maybe you haven't heard a lot of the different reasons why people have ventured in and have, looked at chiropractic. For some of you out there, well, maybe you're questioning. You're questioning, what does chiropractic hold for me? Why should I make a decision to go get checked? Well, tonight, we're going to answer some of those questions. In fact, we're going to be presenting some testimonials. Now, I'm going to tell you, we're going to share testimonials about, how different aspects of our chiropractic practice may help you in some of the things that you're struggling with, concerns that maybe you have. But I'm going to tell you, more importantly than the words that I'm going to speak to you, it's going to be you allowing us to better understand the tone of the things that speak to you. And I say that because I want you to go and look at our Google reviews. Look at the different ones that are out there. You're going to hear other chiropractic patients. Some of them brand new to the Lindbergh Chiropractic Center. Others, they've been here not for years, but for decades. And in turn, they have remarkable stories about what chiropractic has done for them. So listen, I want to hear from you tonight. I want to hear from you those stories that speak to you. So go, like those stories on Google. Make sure that you leave me a comment on, which one of those patients' stories were you really enthused about? Which one of them moved you and that you want to share with other people? Now listen, as a testimonial, we're going to talk about some of the things that we do here in our office. As a chiropractic patient, it's really easy for me to share about the blessings of what chiropractic does. Not only chiropractic, but also the different aspects of our chiropractic practice that maybe you're not aware of. We use a lot of different things here at the Lindbergh Chiropractic Center to help build a stronger, more stable body. And for some, we literally start from the feet and we work our way up through the body. And for many, their very first time of recognizing that they have a problem with the arches in their feet is when we sit down and we look at their foot scan. We look at how broken it is. And listen, a picture's worth 1,000 words. It's not me telling you that there's a problem, that there's an issue. It's the testing that tells you that this isn't right. That even though you can't feel it, even though you can't see it, the testing demonstrates how the breakdown is there. And the wonderful thing is that there's simple tools and there's simple instruments to help eliminate those physical stresses that you're able to test the outcome of to make sure that it's doing the job it's supposed to do. Now, whether we're talking about custom-made orthotics or over-the-counter inserts, well, guess what? We're going to muscle test to make sure that those products are making your body stronger. Because whenever we remove those stresses, removing that physical stress allows for the body to connect easier and better. And strength is ultimately that outcome study. Nobody wants to be weaker. Nobody wants for them to experience the fact that when they come in contact with something, that they become weaker. Well, listen, when you come in contact and these orthotics or inserts are working properly, you're going to be getting stronger. And that is the indication that they're doing what they're supposed to do. Now, in turn, I was introduced to orthotics and, when I was 11, 12 years of age. And I could still remember the day that I woke up and got out of bed, and I was doing a lot of running with my dad. And we were doing long distances, 10 plus miles a day. And in turn, my feet hit the ground, and so did my butt. And it was that quickly, the searing pain coming in the back of my foot, Now, maybe some of you have had a similar story. Maybe some of you put your feet on the ground first thing in the morning and, well, lo and behold, you have this searing pain coming across the bottom of your feet. Well, for me, it was a trip to one of my dad's friends, and in turn, as a podiatrist, he recognized exactly what was going on. That quickly, ending up in a pair of orthotics, simply eliminated that mechanical stress, and is all history since then. If I take my shoes off, you get to see my custom-made orthotics. You get to see those products constantly working in the background to help improve the function and the stress of my body. Now, I wish that the story just stopped there, but hey, listen, like anybody's testimonial, well, there's other aspects to it, and my chiropractic story just continues from there, where unfortunately I had a car accident and somebody wanted my side of the road plus his. In the moment, going off-road, I had 2 herniated discs at the base of my low back. And I'm going to tell you, if you want to hear more about that particular story, we have another testimonial video on YouTube where you can hear not only myself, but also Shannon and Jackie sharing about what chiropractic has done for them. Go back, visit that. Make sure that you listen to that. Hear the stories of the people who are caring for you and why they're so dedicated to making sure that your chiropractic experience is the best it possibly can be. But I have to give gratitude to Dr. Stephen Fleischer and numerous other chiropractors who helped me in the rebuilding process to restabilize the body. I was taken through the adjustments. I was taken through the process of learning exercises and tractioning and doing all that hard work, and not for just days and weeks, but months and years in order to retrain and restabilize. But I'm going to tell you, as broken as I was and as messed up as my MRI might sound and look to others, the wonderful thing is by doing the hard work, it's released me from the anchors of not being able to get on my bike or go for a run or rock climb or play outside and numerous other things. In fact, one of the biggest things as an outcome is the fact that I'm able to do something that I absolutely love and enjoy, which is practicing chiropractic. I recognize that there would be no way with all the physical stress of adjusting if in fact I hadn't had that condition corrected and stabilized, but also ultimately maintained properly. Well, listen, I would definitely not be doing what I'm doing today. Certainly not being able to serve the way we do. And I'm going to encourage you that if you desire for that opportunity of living as vitally as possible, well, listen, you're going to do what I do. You're going to make sure that not only do you fix and correct, but you maintain at that highest level. And listen, maintenance is a choice. The level of maintenance is really the choice. You can maintain at that most optimal level so your body's able to function at that highest point. Or, listen, you can maintain at the lowest level possible. But that doesn't have the greatest outcome. And it certainly doesn't allow us to do the things that we want to do. I love the fact that we get to constantly see and hear from patients on a regular basis. Just had the opportunity of sitting down and doing a 90-day review and seeing the transformational change in individuals. Seeing somebody's x-rays as they've done the hard work, they've done the exercise, they've done the tractioning, and how the curve in their neck is increasing, and how in 90 days their head is coming back over their shoulders where it's supposed to be, and measurements are all going in the right direction. But even more importantly, the fact that they're capable of doing things now without even thinking about it because of releasing those anchors. And to me, the ultimate story of testament to chiropractic is my friend. So for some, they've always asked me, so why have you chosen chiropractic? Well, the easy answer is, well, my dad and my uncle were chiropractors, they showed me how wonderful it was to care for other people and the joy that you can have in doing it. But one of the big triggering things that set me in motion to have that desire was my friend Jimmy. You know, as a youngster, being outside, 10 years old, seeing your friend not being able to play. Because his allergies were getting so bad that he wasn't able to be outside without his allergies just going off the rails. And sadly, eventually got to the point where he just couldn't even come out and play. There were times where he just stayed inside all day long for weeks on end. And the one thing that his mom recognized was the fact that the present medical treatment of just simply injecting and giving the allergy shots wasn't fixing anything. He was getting 5 and 10 allergy shots a week. And in turn, it wasn't having the outcome. And eventually, she turned to my father. And over time, and that's an extremely important part of this conversation, it didn't happen overnight. It happened over time. Over time, Jimmy was eventually capable of coming out to play. See, because in the end, he was addressing the root cause of why his body was functioning the way it was, why it was reacting the way it was. And in turn, the amazing thing is that when we reflect on it, listen, he was able to actually start to enjoy life again, to get out there just like every other child and play the way you're supposed to. I enjoy the fact that we all have a chiropractic story. Whether you've been under chiropractic care for a year or a week or maybe a couple of decades, we all have a story to share. I love that we have this forum that you're capable of, you know what, recognizing the different stories, hearing other people and how chiropractic has changed their life. So what I'm going to ask you to do is very simple. Go to our Google page, that Google review page. Look that up, and I want you to look at those reviews, hear other people's stories. And in the comment section, tell me, which one of those stories spoke to you? What was that patient who, you know what, maybe you resonated with? Maybe that was you at one point. Or maybe you have your own story that you really are looking forward to sharing. I'm going to encourage you, if you've not, done a Google review, take the time and do a Google review. There's a quote by B.J. Palmer. We never know how far-reaching something that we're going to say or do today may affect the lives of millions tomorrow. And how true that absolutely is. As we have the pleasure of sitting in the new patient exam room and hearing from new patients, the stories that they got to review, the people they got to have just a small glimmer of understanding of what chiropractic has done for them, they share the fact that the reason why they're here, the reason why they even attempted or tried chiropractic is because of the testimonials, because of the hope that is given by the stories that you lend your name to. I'm going to encourage you, if there's one thing to be done today, is to pause and help others. Help others by just simply leaving that Google review, sharing your story. I don't know who it's going to touch. I don't know when it's going to have an impact in somebody else's life. But I know one thing. If it's not out there, if you haven't written your story, then guess what? You happen to be the best kept secret in the world. I recognize we're not here for ourselves. We're here to help other individuals, other people, other parts of mankind. And in turn, if we could do something as simple as the written word, what benefit would it have for others? I would hope that you would take the few minutes to just simply help others. I'm Dr. Joseph Baker from the Limerick Chiropractic Center.